a woman pulled into her driveway, expecting nothing more than the comfort of home. She had spent the day doing what she loved: styling hair, listening to music, laughing with clients who trusted her not just with their appearance, but with their stories. Within minutes, she would be dead. Her name was Keisha Brown, a 34-year-old hairstylist, entrepreneur, and mother whose life ended violently in a place she should have been safest. What made the crime even more chilling was what happened moments before the fatal gunshots. A heated argument unfolding in real time on Facebook. This is the story of how a digital confrontation spilled into the real world and ended in murder. A life built from passion and hustle. Keisha Brown was well known in her community. Friends described her as outspoken, hardworking, and fiercely independent. She ran her own small hairstyling business out of a local salon, specializing in braids, wigs, and natural hair care. Her social media pages doubled as both marketing tools and personal diaries, filled with photos of satisfied clients, motivational quotes, and candid posts about life struggles. Like many small business owners, Keisha relied heavily on Facebook, not just to promote her work, but to stay connected. She wasn't shy about speaking her mind online. Those close to her say that while she had a big heart, she also didn't back down easily when she felt disrespected. That trait would prove fatal. The argument that wouldn't stay online. On the day of her death, Keisha became involved in a public Facebook argument that quickly escalated. According to investigators, the dispute began in the comments section of a post shared by a mutual acquaintance. What started as a disagreement over a personal issue soon turned into insults, accusations, and threats. Screenshots later reviewed by police showed an exchange that grew increasingly hostile. Profanity was used. Old grievances were brought up. At one point, Keisha reportedly wrote that she was tired of the disrespect and wasn't afraid of anyone. The other person involved in the argument, a man she reportedly knew personally, responded with equally aggressive messages. Friends watching the exchange urged both sides to stop, warning that things were getting out of hand. But the posts kept coming. What no one realized at the time was that the argument wasn't just emotional. It was setting events into motion. The final drive home. Later that evening, Keisha left the salon and began the short drive back to her home. Surveillance footage from nearby homes later confirmed her car pulling into the driveway just before 8:30 p.m. She never made it inside. As she stepped out of her vehicle, gunfire shattered the calm of the neighborhood. Multiple shots were fired in rapid succession. Neighbors reported hearing screams, followed by silence. When police arrived, they found Keisha lying in her driveway, suffering from gunshot wounds. Paramedics attempted life-saving measures, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. She was unarmed. She had no chance to defend herself. A crime scene that raised immediate questions. Detectives quickly realized this was not a random act of violence. There were no signs of robbery. Keisha's purse, phone, and belongings were untouched. The shooter appeared to know exactly when she would arrive home. Investigators began canvassing the neighborhood, collecting shell casings, reviewing security camera footage, and interviewing witnesses. Several neighbors reported seeing a vehicle they didn't recognize parked nearby shortly before the shooting, then speeding away moments later. Attention soon turned to Keisha's phone. That's when the Facebook argument came into focus. Digital evidence tells a story. Police obtained a warrant to review Keisha's social media activity. What they found painted a disturbing picture of escalating tension in the hours leading up to her death. The argument wasn't private. It had unfolded publicly, with dozens of people watching in real time. Some comments hinted at violence. Others suggested the conflict had been ongoing for weeks. Investigators traced the other party in the argument, a man with a prior criminal record and a history of confrontations. Cell phone data allegedly placed him near Keisha's neighborhood around the time of the shooting. When confronted by police, he initially denied any involvement. But inconsistencies in his story, combined with digital evidence and witness statements, raised red flags. What had begun as words typed behind a screen was now being examined as a possible motive for murder. An arrest that brought little comfort. Within days, authorities announced an arrest. The suspect was charged with murder and taken into custody without bond. Prosecutors alleged that he became enraged during the online argument, tracked Keisha to her home, and ambushed her when she arrived. In court filings, they described the killing as intentional and premeditated. Keisha's family watched the proceedings in shock. No amount of legal action could bring her back. A community in mourning. News of Keisha's death spread quickly across Alabama and beyond. Vigils were held outside her home. Clients left flowers, candles, and handwritten notes in her driveway, the same place where her life had ended. Many expressed disbelief that a Facebook argument could escalate into murder. Others weren't surprised at all. This is what happens when people don't understand that online words have real-world consequences. One community member said at a vigil, "The internet makes people forget they're dealing with real humans." Her death sparked conversations about digital violence, anger management, and how social media can amplify conflict instead of resolving it. The warning signs we ignore. Criminologists say this case highlights a growing and dangerous pattern. Interpersonal conflicts that begin online and escalate offline. Social media removes physical distance, but it also removes restraint. Insults are easier. Threats feel less real until they aren't. Keisha's story is not unique. What made it tragic was how preventable it might have been. Friends later admitted they saw the argument unfolding and felt uneasy, but no one imagined it would end in gunfire. A life reduced to a headline. In the days following her death, Keisha's name appeared in headlines across true crime channels and news sites. But to those who knew her, she was more than a victim. She was a mother who braided her child's hair every morning, a businesswoman who dreamed of opening her own salon, a friend who spoke her mind even when it got her into trouble. Her life ended in seconds, but the ripple effects will last forever. The silence after the last post. Keisha's Facebook page remains online. Her final posts are frozen in time, ordinary updates, now overshadowed by what followed. No one knows if she realized the danger she was in as she pulled into her driveway. No one knows if she had time to be afraid. What is known is this: a heated argument fueled by pride, anger, and the false safety of a screen ended a life. And once again, a community was left asking the same question true crime always leaves behind. Was it worth it?